This has to be the dumbest decision any franchise has ever made. I mean, Marvel fans, Star Wars fans, Disney fans, I don't care what you're a fan of, nobody has ever fumbled something as bad as the Monk movie. For those who do not know, Monk was a Crime of the Week show that got 8 seasons on the USA Network, featuring the lead character, Tony Shalhoub, playing the character of Monk. Adrian Monk suffers from severe OCD after a traumatic incident involving the offing of his wife. The show ran for 8 seasons and got 125 episodes. That might not seem like a lot for the time, but here's the thing. Monk ended when it had its highest ratings. So the actors decided to leave the show before it got boring and formulaic. So they had good enough time to put a perfect bow on the series finale, and it will forever live in my heart. And I mean quite literally. My grandmother and I, we would watch the show week to week, month to month, and season to season for literally years. Fast forward 20 years after the show ends, in the year 2023, we get to hear the Monk movie, Mr. Monk's Last Case. Remember that perfect series finale I was talking about? How happy it was and how they put a perfect bow on it? This movie kind of undoes a lot of that. We had the pandemic shortly before this, and with Monk having OCD and dermophobia, it felt like such a perfect time to bring the show back. So if someone could tell me with the happy series finale that we got, whose bright idea was it to have the entire plot of the show revolving around Monk struggling not to off himself? And I am not lying, and I'm not being dramatic. The entire premise of the movie is Monk is depressed and he is struggling to not check out of this life. I would like to remind you, in case I wasn't clear before, but this show is a comedy. Monk literally hoards his medication that his therapist prescribes him so that he can himself. And the only thing stopping him from doing it is Monk is obsessed with the number 100, and he lays out 100 pills, and then he knocks a couple off the table, but now he can't take those because now they're dirty because they've been on the floor. Most of the humor in this episode is like this. Throughout the show, Monk also gets visited by his deceased wife, usually in the forms of dreams, and who has not dreamt of a deceased loved one before? But for some reason, in the Monk movie, when Monk is fully awake and fully conscious, he has this scene, and he's talking to her and fully interacting with her, and at some point, all of the past victims of all the crimes he has solved. Given Monk's current mental state and the of himself, it kind of makes me think he's just mentally deteriorating, that he's starting to see people that aren't there. And if you're worried about the crime mystery of it, don't worry, you'll solve it in the first 10 minutes of the movie. And the movie ends with him meeting the ghost of a child that he has never met before because their case has not been solved. In the entirety of the show, we have never had a child, offed before.